Season 2, episode number 2. Let's get it, boy! Hope y'all feeling real good. You know we gotta come in with some dope music on the KYREN MONTEIRO Show.
When I started with this vision, people thought I was a scrub.
Yeah.
Now they show me love, you would think I was the plug.
Yes, sir.
Now I got the keys and I'ma show you what it is. King on this grind, you know I handle my feet. Know I'm getting to these blessings.
Yes, sir.
Blessings. Haters hate, but we okay. Stacking chips, Frito-Lays.
Check the circle, 0 lanes. What's happening, man? What's happening? My name is KYREN MONTEIRO. I am the guy that started this podcast. Yeah, I heard the lyric. They said, check the circle, 0 lanes. Speaking of the circle, I got one of my close brothers, man, that I grew up with, man. Definitely, blood couldn't make us no closer, man. I got my guy Phillip Boyd, a.k.a. Big Phreeza, in the house and
the biggest Big Phreeza. Y'all know what time it is, man. What's going on, man? It's a pleasure to be here, bro.
Man, season 2, dog. It's been, man, it feel good, man, to be back doing this, man. It's been over a year now since season 1.
Yep.
And I want to do a better job at being consistent with this thing, because I feel like season 1 added a lot of value. I feel like it was some dope people from the city.
Yep.
And even though a lot of people don't know what city we come from, Marion, Indiana is where we at, I feel like the value that's being added from people who've been featured from the city transcends the geographic locations.
Oh, for sure.
So for the people that don't know what I'm talking about, what I'm saying is that you ain't got to be from Marion to understand what we're saying, boy. Man, hope y'all doing well, man. We're going to call this episode, this is season 2, episode number 2. We're going to call this No Manual, All on Site.
I got a problem with how we just started.
What's
You
that?
said season 2, episode 2, and I'm just now getting on here. It's cool. It's a topic for another discussion. It's all good.
Cry me a river.
Okay, it's all good.
Look, man, look. Season 2.
Season 6, episode 10 is what I'm getting you on.
Season 2, episode 2, we calling this thing No Manual, All on Site. I'm going to repeat again. No Manual, All on Site, man. And we want to touch on the challenges of fatherhood, man. You know, I know for myself, coming up as a youngin', my mom had me as a teenage mom, somewhere, like 17, 18, something like that, around that, coming out of high school age. My biological father, who was from Ypsilanti, Michigan, right outside of Detroit, Michigan, Garvin Kraut, a.k.a. Chico Kraut. They kind of did their thing, and, I was born on May 10th, 1990, so I didn't come up with my biological pops, which is no shade at him. I'm just speaking facts. And, thank God that I still had the opportunity to experience fatherhood. Honestly, I don't think it could have been better, because when I was almost 2, my mom married the one and only, the late great Elder Grady Speed, a.k.a. G Natural. Hand clap for the legend.
Late great. That's the man.
And so he was an amazing father, man. And, there was things that him and my mom just went through, in parenthood. Looking back, I'm like, yo, I get it. Honestly, man, for, even though my biological father was not in my life, I kind of like.
It's a blessing in disguise.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have no. I think there's some things that me and him probably need to talk about more, but I don't have no hate for him, and I'm honestly speaking that. At least I don't know I do. unless it's deep, dark, rooted that I don't know.
You'll know.
Yeah, I don't have no hate for him because
you'll know.
You know, back in 1990, wasn't on Facebook in the 90s, wasn't on Instagram. Like, you couldn't get a hold of people. Like, I just understand that people are people at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And then now that I'm a father, and now that, you know, I'm 33 now, so, you know, I've made mistakes in my own life. Mm-hmm. I've bumped my head. I ain't been the best husband. I haven't been the best father. You know, so it's just like, how can I sit up and have such disdain for you when I got my own dust on my porch that I need to sweep off?
Right.
I can't be worried about all the dirt on your porch, man. So, you know, for those that don't know, me and my boy Phil, we are both fathers. I got one at the moment. You know, hope to add to the family in the
moment.
Hope to add to the family at some point, man.
I like that.
Hope to add to the family at some point. You know, so me and my wife back. Me and my beautiful wife, Jada Montero, back in October of 2016. You know, my wife birth, my daughter Giselle. And, you know, these last almost 7 years have been...
Take me through that. Like, not finding out she was pregnant, but, like, when it's, like, a month, a week, 2 weeks, like, away from, all right, the date is here, and there's, like, no way around it.
So,
which is your first one, so, like.
So I'll be honest, man. There's a few things. So going back is like.
And I'll share also.
Yeah, for sure. Going back, like, I made a lot of first-time mistakes as a father. Mm-hmm. Through the pregnancy process, when she was first born, obviously I was in her life, right? Me and my wife, we married, so, you know, I ain't never been a deadbeat, not 1 second. At all. But, you know, I think that looking back, my temperament, you know, I was even more impatient. I just wasn't understanding. You know, when she was first conceived, I was 25. When she was born, I had turned 26. So I am grateful that we got to be I'm grateful that we wasn't like 18, 19, 20. Because I was young, absolutely far from ready. Right. Even more than I was at 25, 26. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, getting up to that point, man, I had a lot of things, man, in my life that I needed to deal with. So it's interesting that I got all of these personal battles that I need to deal with internally and spiritually and mentally as a man. But here I am about to have a beautiful daughter, a human being that I'm responsible for raising and pouring into. And so, man, I would say that I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. I feel like I could have stepped my hustle up financially more. I feel like mentally, spiritually, I just feel like I could have been ready. But going back to the title, like, no manual, all on sight.
That's what it is.
You know, but I am thankful that I can reference back to my pops. Yeah. Try to implement things that I learned from him. Not only him, like, but just dope men. Just period. Like my grandfather, Elder Lloyd Majors. You know, we grew up at Greater Second Baptist Church here in Marion. You know, there's been dope men that we've been exposed to. And 100%. So I know for myself, like, I think at the top of fatherhood, I thought I was ready, but I wasn't as ready as I thought I was. And honestly, man, every day is just, man, it's just a journey, so man.
Every day is a journey. I think mine's a little bit different because, like, in the midst of me celebrating the, like, birth of, at the time, I thought my first child, like, a curveball out of nowhere just come. And I find out I might possibly have another child that's basically the same age as the child I'm getting ready to have. So it was just one of them things, like I held on to it for a long time. Like, once I seen him and talked to his mom and kind of did like a little, the little finger 1, 2, 3, 5 minus, carry the 1, subtract. Once I did that, I'm like, oh, like this might,
like this for real.
Man, it might be mine. And it's just, just one of them things that you always say, like, oh, I hope I'm not that person. And I'm just speaking about me personally because I've hear it all the time, heard it all the time, seen it all the time. Like, baby, boom, you out of there, dad not around, and you just come around as you feel. And I like promised myself I did not want to do that. But then, situations happen and I'm like, man, like 2 at the same time. So, my youngest son, he was born in September of 2018, and my oldest son was born in January of 2018. Had no idea. And right before my youngest was born, I find out that this one is this other child that I think is mine at this point. And I just kind of held on to it for a minute because I didn't want to, storm on anybody else's parade because it was also my youngest son's mother's first child. So I just kind of held on to it because I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Like, let's be happy. This is our situation and we'll just go from here. And then I'll bring it to you and break it down to you. Cause I know it sounds wild, but there was like no, like I was over here and then I stepped over here and went there was none of that.
So let me ask you this.
It was put me in a weird space.
So let me ask you this, and I can answer. I can piggyback and reflect back after you answer this. What? So I feel like if any man who is a father, like a father that's actually present in a kid's life consistently, not just a sperm donor, not just a Father's Day Facebook selfie dad, but a real dad that's present. I feel like fatherhood exposes your flaws even more.
Oh, man.
So let me ask you this. If you could be honest, and it don't have to be long, what do you feel like some of the biggest things fatherhood has exposed of you as far as some flaws and weaknesses as a man, as a father? What do you feel like, since being a dad, what has it challenged you to like grow on? You know what I'm saying?
I think maybe just being more vulnerable because, like, yeah, like I laugh, I smile, people see me, just like up here all the time. And then like when I got something going on, I just kind of just like shut the door and just try to just deal with that myself. And I realized like I got to stop doing that. So I think having my youngest son, and with him having autism and my oldest son also having autism, I think it just kind of made me more vulnerable, made me a little bit more softer and, just in life period. Cause I just used to just like, like I used to be, they used to call me angry man. I smiled, but it's just like, I had that since I was a kid. So I carried that as an adult. And now I was just like, you know what? Like, you got kids and like, I want to be the best dad I can. And I can't do that if I'm not, like, if I don't open myself up to, other things and pay attention to other things that people are doing, take notes from everybody. Like, I've been around people with kids forever. So just trying to see what they're doing with theirs and see if I can incorporate it with mine in any type of way. And also myself.
I'm not going to lie to you, dog. I think what you said, being vulnerable, I think obviously like the man that raised me, my pops, he died February 16th. No. Either February 16th or 17th, 2009. But he died in February. Anyways, he died in February 2009. And that, I always had a temper coming up, but that really flared up a temper in me, and it built up an emotional wall. And so I just, since after my dad's death, I really didn't know how to, like,
let your feelings out.
Jail, and I wasn't great at intelligently and intellectually regulating my emotions. Like, I think a lot of times as men, we don't like to admit that we are super immature at regulating our emotions.
Oh yeah,
and our communication skills and how we deal with things. And so I think that being a father, just for me, it exposed everything, because I already knew what my personal struggles were, and then here comes a beautiful baby girl, and it just, for me, it just exposed things even more.
And I think that's where and I hear that people, I got 2 boys, I don't have a daughter. Everybody keep telling me bro, when you have a daughter, it's different. It's totally different. I'm just and I tell some of my homies that don't have boys, I'm like, nah, when you got a son that like what you wanted as a child with your pops, and you trying to get that with your kids, and it's working, that's the best feeling in the world.
For me, I understand that both genders, whether you got a son or a daughter, come with different sets of challenges, because, males and females are just different. That's just how God made us. We are just, our genders and our DNA makeup, how we think, how we move is just different. But at the same time, regardless of the gender, you have somebody that you are responsible for. Or with you got multiple, right? So it's just both is just going to challenge you in a certain kind of way. So I know, for myself, it showed me how impatient I was. It showed me how how much my temper really was a problem. It showed me how much my attitude and my lack of communication skills with my wife was, how much I need to step my hustle up more. It just, my time management flaws. It really just my priorities, it really challenged and checked everything, because here I am at 26, I'm used to just moving and grooving with just me and wifey, and then bang. It's just different. And so I think that this leads to another thing, man, that I think is important. And I think this goes for mothers and fathers. Obviously, we talking as fathers, but this can go both. As a father, you have to make sure, no, not you. As fathers, we need to make sure as much as possible that we keep our mental health, our spiritual health, our physical health. We need to make sure that we invest into us to be the best version of us, so that we can be the best version for our kids.
For sure.
Because if you're not the greatest version of yourself that you can be,
no good to nobody.
Yeah. Now, I'm not talking like I'm the greatest version of myself right now. I'm not talking like I got it all together, but I'm talking to myself first.
Yeah.
And then if other people can relate, then that's what's up. But we definitely got to make sure that we are the best versions of ourselves, so that we can be more effective fathers.
And that's something. And like when you said, not to double back, but like you said, the personal struggles that you deal with, I think I dealt with 2 major ones. As a young adult, I was in high school when my grandfather, that I'm named after, Phillip Boyd, died. He died on Mother's Day, on your birthday.
Yeah, that's a fact.
2009. 2009, May 10th. So that, and then my best friend get killed. Maurice, excuse me. And I suppressed so much when Maurice got killed. Cause I'm you see this on TV, movies, shoot, even in that, you see it, but then that hits you and your community, and that floored me. So I kind of around, I say when Maurice died, I think that totally changed me. Cause like there's no way like somebody I grew up with I gotta go see in a casket. And then like I said, then my grandfather, me being named after him, that alone is a bond that I tell people like I can't explain it. That's why like sometimes like, you know, like we caught each other coming out the graveyard last week or week before or whatever it was. I kind of like I try to go to my grandfather's a lot, but then again I can't go that much because I'm named after him, and seeing my name on the headstone like already kind of rattle my mind a little bit on top of the stuff I just think about like on a daily. So being strong for my kids is number one, but direct number two is my family because there's no other men left on my mom's side.
But I would say this, I would throw this in. I think being strong is exposing your weaknesses.
For sure.
And working on them. It's easy to bask in
it is.
What you're strong in.
Yeah.
It's hard to be real about your weaknesses and like and work through that, you know, at the end of the day. Honestly, man, you know, I haven't really touched on this much on this podcast. I touch on this, you know, in our circle a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, rather, you know, and this is not to offend any other race at all, but, you know, what we deal with here in this country and the United States of America, and we're just going to say here in the USA or U.S., the history in this country. Mm-hmm. Now, before I say what I say, we are not making excuses or playing victims.
No, not at all.
And we are not blaming another race for what we can't do right now. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, the fact is that slavery happened.
Right.
The fact is that hundreds of years after slavery, oppression still exists. Mm-hmm. Systematic racism and oppression still exists. Yep. You know, and lack of equality in this country still exists. Yeah. Prejudice still exists.
Daily basis.
And so, rather people realize or not, like what we go through as black men on a day-to-day, just the anxiety at times that comes from how we come up, how we live, mm-hmm. how guarded we have to be in so many situations. It's enough in itself.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, I think a lot of us can use therapy and some life coaches and counseling, man.
And I think about that. I want to, but then it's like, and I know you're not gonna like. I've listened to a ton of people that say they do therapy and that help, but it's like the therapy that you need and that you're there for. That's not for me. I need somebody like, you don't even got to understand what I mean or what I go through or what I think about or, you know, whatever. But don't look at me like I'm just such a terrible person because of the stuff that I'm telling you I feel or seen or whatever the case may be. I just want like just let me just come in here, let me sit on this couch and just let me talk. Like, you really don't even have to say nothing. Like, just let me get this off my chest. Because sometimes when you talk to somebody about some stuff that they've never experienced, you talking to a wall. Because how can they console you? You know what I mean? Like, it's man.
You know, I feel like I feel like therapy can come for people in different forms. But I think as men, you know, like I learned this, you know, so for people who, you know, my wife, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, but for the listeners, my wife has 3 degrees, all in social work. She has a doctorate in social work. So obviously she's covered different areas like psychology and just different things. Mm-hmm. And one thing that she helped me realize is like trauma. When I think of trauma, I think of it as like drastic, big stuff. Yeah. Like Maurice getting murdered. Rex. I lost my pops at 18. My aunt dying at a young age.
Oh man.
Family member being molested or seeing somebody getting beat domestically growing up. Like I always thought of trauma as like these like major kind of like Lifetime movie crazy
trauma
type stuff.
Trauma hit you like rocks just getting thrown at you.
Bro, but like trauma can be
anything.
On anything on a small scale. And so when she really woke me up to that, like if I'm honest, it's like, dang,
you had way more than you thought.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I've had honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like
you're not even looking at it like it's trauma. It's just like, that's something that happened. I get over it.
Even legal matters that I went through. Look, at the end of the day, man, this thing, we passed this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm 33 now, but when I was 22, I made a huge mistake and slept with a 15-year-old girl. And got sentenced for sexual misconduct with a minor. Was a Class B felony. Got convicted March of 2014. Sat on house arrest 2 years, 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Probation for several years. Done being on the sex offense registry here in the state of Indiana in May of 2024. So that part is almost done. Obviously, I'm done with the house arrest. I'm done with probation. Had to do all the counseling, therapy, lie detector test. I'm not going to get into details. The detail is that at the end of the day, I'm a man of God. I'm married and I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing. Put myself in that position and had to be held accountable for that bad decision. But here I am, formerly the Messenger, Christian hip-hop artist touring all around the country. Mostly in a lot of youth groups.
Yeah. And
then here I am, got to turn myself in for a sex case. Now, you already know men in the church already looked at crazy in sexual kind of situations. And so here I am, and bro, the things that people said and everything, I was like, looking back on that, just that whole experience, I'm like, I might need to go back to therapy for that because of some trauma that came.
Because you was dealing with something while dealing with something else, but you're not even dealing with that other part yet. Because it's like I'm not even hearing anything right now because I don't know what this judge is getting ready to do. Is she about to? I gotta go sit down. Is she gonna I don't know. So it's like you deal with that. And now, like you said, you a year from being off that, but then it's then you just still think dang, this. I was hearing some wild stuff.
Look, man, I don't care what nobody say. Man, I don't care what none of these rappers or none of these cats on social media saying. Man, sitting in front of a judge, facing 10 years possibly, was like. Bro, I don't think my heart has ever beat so fast. Literally, the outcome of my life right now is literally in whatever this man says.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think at the end of the day, man, I believe spiritually, good, bad, ugly, sunshine, rain, mountaintop, valleys, highs, lows, trials and tribulations, victories, whatever. I don't think that we go through anything in life by accident or unintentionally from God. I think rather God is allowing things to come in our life, or most of the time, a lot of our problems is self-inflicted. We cause a lot of the problems in our own lives. But no matter what, rather it's natural, rather it's in our control or out of our control. I don't think that we go through anything in life by accident.
No.
I think everything has a purpose. Yeah. I think that the purpose can be wasted if we don't learn
from it.
That's why they say, it ain't a loss, it's a lesson if you learn from it. And so, for me, that situation, I wouldn't change that. People look at me different. It hurt employment. It affected my career, but I had to keep pushing. And even being a father, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I'm so impatient with my daughter. You know, we got autistic children.
Mm-hmm.
And with my daughter being autistic, you know, she got quirky ways and different things.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we butt heads. Sometimes I got quirky ways and I get on my wife's nerves, you know?
Right.
And so sometimes we butt heads, but it's like, it kind of is a reminder like, yo, God got to have a lot of patience dealing with us for the BS that we do.
Yeah. I ain't thought, dang.
You know, as parents don't want to be real, but parents, you get annoyed by your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Your kids get on your nerves sometimes.
Oh.
And then I feel like sometimes God check me like, how much you getting on my nerves?
Man, I never think about it like that, but that's real.
You know, I think at the end of the
real.
day, man, as we come to the end of this, it's so much stuff. We dang near might have to do a part 2 to this because it's so many other areas that we can dive into. I think that at the end of the day, matter of fact,
You want to keep going?
matter of fact, this is definitely part 1. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna have to get Phil back on. So this is definitely No Man, You're All on Site part 1. Definitely a part 2 coming.
I finally get on there and I got 2 parts. I might
Definitely a part 2.
It might be a part 3 if we tap in too much.
It got to be a part 2 because it's definitely things that we got to cover. But I think that at the end of the day, man, I think some takeaways, man, for fathers out there is at the end of the day, first off, if you got responsibilities, take care of them.
Right.
They didn't ask to be here. No matter how the situation happened, planned, unplanned, wanted, not wanted, like the mom, don't like the mom, wife getting along, not getting along. No matter the relationships, them kids need you. That kid or them kids need you. So one is, man, we need to take care of our responsibilities. We need to be the best version of ourselves. And if we can do that, man, if we be the best version of ourselves, it has a positive impact on our kids.
Yep.
It has a positive impact on our families, on our communities, on our churches, on everything, in businesses, everything. So, men, I'm challenging myself first. It's time for us to be better versions of ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and be better leaders because we need that, man. Phil, so glad you came on, my guy. I definitely appreciate you, man. You working on your own podcast. You want to talk about that for a hot second?
Yeah, man. You know, I got with my co-host, Mikey Ruthless. And he hate when I say this, but the best battle rapper in the Midwest, you know.
Hey, he better not hate it. Take some pride in that, man.
He don't like when I say that. He just say, he said it. He said it, I ain't say it. I'm like, nah, we
He
said
be
it.
all right.
You know, but yeah, I know, you know, we've been clipping up. We got some more clips. We shot our first official episode last week. I gotta get this guy to clean up the audio a little bit. And you know, y'all get that very soon. I'm still working on the YouTube page. We're getting some stuff going with a Facebook page. And, you know, we just going to keep it going up. Y'all keep tuning in with us, man. Keep on coming with the developments and everything going on with it. Kill the Noise podcast, you know what I mean? Big Phreeza. And I'm about to drop an exclusive on here.
Go ahead, do it.
Man. Man, all right. So, I'm also going to start like a introspective podcast of just myself.
Okay.
Kind of more like a therapy session to myself, how we was just saying, because sometimes I can't talk to somebody that might not understand what I'm going through or what I feel or how I'm thinking. And I think if I just say it and I get it out there, then I think people will like start to open up, and I'll invite somebody to come have a conversation, just one-on-one, me and that person. That's it. And just has some type of like introspective, like back and forth conversation type thing. So that was something that is literally like, I thought about it like a couple weeks ago. Bam. So I'm going to get it going. I can't tell y'all the name of that yet because y'all be stealing.
Well, Big Phreeza, man. We definitely Big Phreeza. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate the love.
Once again, man, this is my guy, Phillip Boyd,
Yeah.
aka Big Phreeza, and we grew up like brothers, man. And like I said, we're gonna have a part 2. I'm not sure what episode it'll be on this season 2, but we definitely gonna have a part 2 of this, man.
Oh, for sure.
Make sure that y'all on this podcast, on my podcast, the KYREN Monteiro Show, make sure that you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you check out KYRENMonteiro.com. Also, wherever you can find podcasts at, make sure Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Amazon, all of that stuff.
All that.
Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast, listen, download, rate, and tell some people about this. If y'all want to see high definition videos of the video version of the podcast, head over to YouTube. Like I said, it is available on all platforms that allow podcasts to be listened to and downloaded. And I just appreciate y'all one more time, man. Round of applause for Big Phreeza.
Appreciate it, man.
And everybody else on the podcast, man.
And if you need some studio time, Frequency Canvas, the best studio in Marion, Indiana. Y'all better stop playing. I got the best engineer, producer. He the best rapper in Marion. I said it. If y'all don't believe me, you want to come test him, come up here. I'm gonna pay for a beat, and I'm gonna make everybody in Marion get on that beat. I'm not playing. I'm holding y'all feet to the fire. Y'all the best in Marion. Come holler at me. Come on. Friendly competition, man. It's for the summer, man. Let's do something, man. Let's go.
Like the homie Roof said, he said it, I didn't, man. He said it, I didn't.
I with all the smoke.
Hey, man, y'all be safe, man. Y'all be blessed. To all the men out there, remember, man, there's no manual. This is all on site. You know what I'm saying? Trust the process. Trust God. Get plugged into some other men that's solid. Get some therapy if you need it. This thing is not 100%. Easy. Life got its ups and downs, but it's worth fighting for, man. It's worth fighting for what you love. It's worth fighting for the people that you love. It's worth fighting for yourself, man. We out this thing, man. Y'all be safe.
Yep.